Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because I am in Irvine watching the turtles on the rocks. And we're not in a good place, guys, to say the least. So, got a lot to cover today. Please hit the like button. Always make sure you hit the subscribe button. And please don't forget to sign up for Christmas in May. You can go to christmasinmay.com to sign up for that or use the link below. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold. Now, let's get right into it. Home Depot just announced their numbers, and they were off a staggering amount. But they also did guidance on what they thought was going to happen to the industry in general, and it's not good, to say the least. So first things first, Home Depot sales, they were expecting about $38 billion in sales. And they had just over $37 billion. So they were off a whole $1 billion in sales for the quarter. $1 billion in a quarter. Now, to give you guys an idea, that's $11,111,000 per day that their sales were off. That's a staggering amount of money. And yes, they have, 1,000 stores or whatever the number is. It's a staggering amount. But the problem with it was they were anticipating sales to be off $500 million, and they were off a full $1 billion. Here is the kiss of death when it comes to retail. Same store sales are off 4.5%. Almost 5% per store, same store sales are off. That is the indicator that they use to determine how bad a retailer is doing. Now, you can sit there and, I'm not worried about Home Depot going out of business anytime soon. But what I'm telling you is that they are convinced that there's not going to be anything good happen in the construction industry. That you're going to see construction in general slow down. You're going to see home improvement slow down, because there are various types of home improvement companies. Some big, some small, but a lot of them use Home Depot and Lowe's and places like that as their main supplier for paint, for hardware, tools, nails, screws, everything. And the problem with this is that their guidance is that this is off. People are spending less money on home improvements right now, which is mind-boggling, guys. When you hear these numbers and think about this, for us to sit around and talk about how great the economy is and that, there's nothing to worry about, it's just going to turn around. It is not going to turn around anytime soon. This is a slow burn, guys. And this slow burn is going to take such a massive toll on everything, because with construction, it's like the mortgage industry. There's other people that get affected by this. So when you have construction not happen, it affects everything. And when you look at the commercial real estate problem right now, they are not doing the remodels for new construction. I've known companies that all they do is remodels for tenant improvements. They want to add an office, they want to get rid of an office, they want to add electrical outlets, they want to add internet, and they're doing nothing. They're basically trying to stay open right now. They've got family members working there because they're basically going to be bankrupt right now because there is no work. So with this is the sign of the times, guys. This is how bad things are. I get people that write me, and for some reason, things like this come in a rash where all of a sudden you'll get a few of them and you're like, I can't get rid of this type of subject. And the subject is, my spouse doesn't want to buy a house right now, Dan. What do you think? Here's why I think we should do it. Here's why I think we shouldn't do it. I get both sides. And I am telling you guys right now, if there was ever a time to sit back and not have a big purchase, it's right now. Man, oh man, oh man. Is it scary out there? Yes. The realtors that know what they're doing, they're totally concerned right now that what we're heading into is a complete and utter collapse of the economy. Okay, now plus you got the debt ceiling nightmare out there that we're going to talk about a little bit more later on in the week too. The Bankruptcy Festival, when Vice News went down for the count, that news agency. Now, you have to understand, some of you may say, I don't know who Vice News is. Well, they had documentaries on HBO, they had shows, they had serious revenue, guys. And again, the company was worth $6 billion at one point, and done. But during the day that they went bankrupt, there were 7 other companies that went bankrupt at the same time that were major companies. I'm not going to bore you with those. Look at the article below. But this is the sign of the times. And that what you're going to see is more consolidation of businesses, more liquidation, more closures. Now, some people are going to start using bankruptcy as a tool. And with these bankruptcies, you're seeing more and more personal bankruptcies. Last month, I covered how personal bankruptcies were, ratcheting up, and it was staggering how bad they were year over year from last year to this year, and they're getting worse. Month over month, you're seeing increases that are double what they were from the previous quarter. So this doesn't just slow down and, oh, it's not going to be that bad. It's going to be bad, guys. It's going to be, catastrophic. We'll use Janet Yellen's term. Everything that you do financially right now, you have to look at how you can conserve money. And I get people out there that, I travel, I'm wealthy, I've got millions of dollars in the bank. I get people that send me screenshots of their money, guys, okay, just to rub it in and tell me how great everything is, and they don't have a care in the world. There are going to be two types of people in the world. Idiots like that, and then the people like us that are going to have to work for a living and have to figure things out. But I am telling you, if you think your job is secure, it's not. My son is a college student who is going to a university because he wants to, not because I want him to. He is traveling to that state and set up job interviews. The job interviews already got postponed and canceled, and we don't have a hiring manager here today. Oh, the positions we thought were available are not available. What a mess. What a complete disaster. When do people start getting, realistic with this? Now, moving to a new state and saying, hey, I really want to work, you can't be Dan and say, oh, how many people you're hiring, what are the hours? You can't be specific with this. But, I just want to serve a position at this restaurant. Some of these places won't be in business. And could you imagine a server asking, hey, I'd like to know the financial status of this restaurant before I consider interviewing? That would be awesome to do that. But it's not realistic to do that. So the Home Depot debacle is a mess. Kids in New York City are being sent home right now because there's so many people that are living in their gyms right now from other countries that were bussed in. That is catastrophic, guys. Destroying the youth for this mess. So, I think New York is a joke. I think New York City is an absolute mess. I think that these people should be ashamed of themselves with how bad crime is in places like that. But to send kids home from school when learning is off right now is just, it's wrong. So wrong. Freightways magazine has a great article talking about how bad freight is and shipping, local, national, worldwide freight, and the freight recession is going to get a lot worse right now. We're going to see a problem with a debacle with things not moving from place to place. The problem with it is that ask anybody that owns a one-man trucking company or a fleet of 100 trucks. If those trucks are not moving, they're not making money. So if they're not loading something and going from place to place to place, they're going upside down. And it's just a matter of time until they will be completely broke. So you have to do things to get sales in your company. And, the problem is people get desperate and they start trading dollars where they start selling things for less instead of selling things properly and cutting costs and doing things in other ways. They just take, any business that they can. And remember, sometimes the best business is the business you turn down because some people are horrible to deal with. And lesson learned with that. So share your thoughts on this stuff so far, guys. I really want to know what you think. And the Home Depot thing is scary. It really is, because it's the last time they had numbers like this, the last time was in 2009. They have not had a down quarter. They have not had a down sales period like this since 2009. So, guys, it's coming back, guys. And this time, if you talk to anybody that knows anything about big construction projects or banking, they're all concerned about the fact that home improvement companies can't get home improvement financing for their customers. The idea with it is, hey, I'll install your windows. Here's the payment. Oh, well, we don't have $13,000, honey, but we can afford $188 a month. Sure, that's not out there right now, guys. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter right now. So share your thoughts on this stuff so far. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. As retirement gets closer to each and every one of us every day, we have to look at what is happening in the world, in the stock market, and how we can protect ourselves and our family. The best thing to do is call Patriot Gold today at 888-330-1431 and find out how you can get a metals-backed IRA or 401k. They're both no fee for life at Patriot Gold. They have been #1 rated for 7 years in a row and truly the best place to get an IRA or 401k. Now, with your stocks, with your cash, with everything that you've got, in your IRA and 401ks and your investments, you need to have diversification. The best thing to do is look at metals, and the best place to do that is Patriot Gold. I love the company. They've got the best customer service. I'm not only a spokesman, I am an actual customer of theirs, and I love the company. Call them today. Look at what JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and so many central banks are doing. They are buying gold. Why are they doing that? Because they know that trouble is coming, and you don't want to be caught holding the bag and lose everything. So protect yourself and protect your family today before it's too late, and call Patriot Gold at 888-330-1431 and let them know that I allegedly sent you. You guys like the shirt? Look, hot dogs. Hot dog shirt. I had breakfast with my daughter before I shot this video, and she just lost it. So that was awesome. By the way, you're not wearing that in public, are you? You're not. I'm going to shoot a video in this shirt. Oh, God. Okay, when is this shirt obsession of yours going to end? I don't know. But hot dogs, guys. Is that great? Now, here's the thing. The economy's so bad, this is going to be a gourmet meal soon. This will be like having, steaks and prime rib on my shirts soon. So that's how bad the economy is going to get. And I think that the zoos in Zimbabwe, when people raided the zoos, it was horrible. Think about that. For food, they went and ate the zoo animals. And I think that we're going to see a bad time right now. Stock up on food, guys. Stock up on food. The Gallup Company did a real estate survey, and I love these because in 2022, 50% of the people surveyed said it's a great time to go out and buy a house. Now, it is down to 21% right now, which is the lowest it's been since, say it with me, 2009, exactly. Sentiment for purchasing property is off a ton. Sentiment for expansion of your companies is off an absolute ton. People, do you think you'll have new hires? No. Do you think that your job is in danger? Yes, most people think that. Back in the day when I was a young man and I went to go buy my first condo, the loan officer was telling me how you need to keep yourself under 28% loan to value with the bank so that they're going to think that you're a good risk and la 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 la. Okay. Well, now that's been raised and raised and raised. It's as high as 40% right now, which is catastrophic, guys, because here's the thing. Life gets in the way. Things happen. Cars break down. Insurance premiums go up. Things happen that cost money. And let's say you have a set income. Okay, I don't have enough money this month. That's happening. Plus, here's the worst part. People have said, if you could raise that figure, what are you comfortable spending in a month to be a homeowner? Let me think. The consensus, and over half the people that were like, of the 21% that said they would buy a house, said it was 50%. They would be at 50% loan to value. 50% of their income ratio to buy that property. In other words, if you make 10 grand and you had a $5,000 a month house payment, they would be fine with that. Is that delusional or what? That is a horrible way to live, guys. It absolutely, nothing short of that. Nothing short of that. Now, remember all the layoffs we've talked about, especially the tech layoffs? This is what's awful in the world right now. All these people at Amazon, people at Google, people at Meta, people at Microsoft have all been laid off. I found a great article below about how all of these companies are using foreign labor and shipping people in at dramatically reduced salaries to replace the people, some of them, that they let go of already. So they're going to pay them basically 1/4 of what they paid the executives and the tech people here. Wow. What if they're getting stock options? Is that crazy, guys? This is where this is headed. It's going to be a swap meet mentality for everything, for your labor, for your services, for everything right now. You have to combat this. If you have to lower your prices, you've got to figure out how you can make the same amount of money percentage-wise from a lower price job. Because let's face it, you have a headache quotient with being in business. There is a headache to running a business. There is a headache to running a service company. There is a headache to shipping things. There is a headache to delivering things, whether you're a consultant or anything. But to sit there and have to sell it for less, how can you justify that and make the same amount of money percentage-wise? So you don't have the same headache, because the same headache is not worth less money. And a lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't want to admit that. When they get desperate, they sure don't want to admit that. But you're going to see yourself replaced by AI and by everything else. There's a film editing program that I don't use on my main channel because I have my hand in all this stuff, because I'm one of those guys that just has his hand in everything. That can edit, that can do so many different things. This gets rid of people, guys. This gets rid of high-paying people. High-paying jobs are going to be done with because the computer can do it. And you know what? You don't have to talk to them. No, this is what I wanted. I didn't want that. I wanted it this way. I told you how I wanted it. Imagine you tell a computer how you want something and they deliver it for you. That's coming, guys. That is coming. So let me know what you think about this so far. Oh, wait. And do you love the shirt? Okay. Or are you just aghast? The waitress today was like, I can't take my eyes off that shirt. It's too much. It's too much. So I think that was, I hate your shirt. I think that's what that meant in code. So let me know, guys. Another day, another serious Wells Fargo story. Wells Fargo is the 4th largest bank in the United States, and it has been plagued with problems for basically a decade now. And they just got fined and agreed to settle another case. Got fined at the end of the year. They just agreed to a settlement this week where they're going to agree to pay $1 billion for opening up bogus accounts, for taking people's cars that were not ready for to be repossessed yet, shutting down bank accounts when they weren't supposed to, seizing bank accounts when they weren't supposed to, just making people's life miserable. Here's the thing. They want to be the cool kids. I finally figured it out because, there's certain banks like high-end, try to go into Morgan Stanley and set up an account, guys, as just an average person. Now, Morgan Stanley can say, sure, if you meet our minimums, of course, you got to meet the minimums. But, Wells Fargo thinks that it's the cool kids. And what they do is they take all the peasants and charge them these ridiculous fees, overdraft fees, everything that they've been written up for. And it is horrible. Once again, remember this. When you think about how great Wells Fargo is, for those of you that write me and say it's the greatest bank in the world, Wells Fargo Bank is the bank that invented the fact that it used to be that they would pay the largest check that went through at night first, and then pay those, and then it would get paid and you wouldn't have to worry about it. What they're doing now with Wells Fargo is they're paying the smallest things first. So they reversed it. So you would have, if you were overdrawn, you could potentially get the biggest thing paid, maybe your rent or something like that. No. Starbucks, things like that, and it would create a slew of overdraft fees. And it basically quadrupled their overdraft fees in basically a month's time. Okay, it was terrible. But once again, they're getting fined for this. They hate us. It is absolutely terrible. So Wells Fargo's paying for this again. Another $1 billion, guys. The next one is our main man, Elon Musk, stepped forward. And I'm like, oh, what's Elon talking about now with Tesla? No, Has nothing to do with Tesla, SpaceX. He is talking about housing, and he is talking about how this housing industry is hanging by a thread right now, and it's one explosion away from completely going upside down and being non-repairable at this point. It's kind of an interesting way of putting it. So great story below with Elon talking about this, but when you hear Elon talk about things, you know, from being such a smart guy, it makes a lot of sense, because the housing prices are too high, the loans are too high. You're seeing the fact that the builders are taking too long to build things. Everything that could go wrong with residential real estate is with commercial real estate. It's only being compounded, and it's just a matter of time until the housing crash happens again and we see this thing completely crash down. So fascinating stuff, to say the least. So, you know, what do you think about this? Is Elon right? I think he is. Every real estate agent that's worth their weight in gold knows this. Houses will sell during this time. This is selling season. This is when houses should be moving right now, and they're not moving. Okay? I know someone that's looking right now just to get a feel for it. And everything that she has looked at, everything has gone down in price in the month's time that she just started poking her head around at this stuff. Isn't that interesting, Dan? Yeah. Think about where it's going to be 6 months from now. Think about where it's going to be a year from now. It's going to be completely upside down. And then the agents are getting more and more desperate. I thought you were serious. I thought you were going to make an offer. No, you wanted me to make an offer. I didn't want to make an offer. You wanted me to make the offer. And I'm not ready yet. I told you I wasn't ready yet. Great story about an electric car. Over the weekend, the Thomas Johnson Bridge in Maryland, I guess it's a major bridge there, got shut down because an EV car died on the bridge and blocked the bridge. Just push it out of the way, guys. Isn't that what you do? Oh, you can't get juice to it. Can't put it into gear. It's just basically a multi-ton paperweight. Oh, okay. So it completely destroyed weekend travel on this bridge, and you're going to see more and more of that. What is going to happen when people run out of juice more and more? In Los Angeles, all that horrific traffic, it's going to be a nightmare when these things start to happen. When people cannot afford to pay to get the car charged, what's going to happen? You're going to see this more and more and more. We'll just put a little gas in the car and we'll get it going. And I got a spare. I got, you know, an extra gallon in my truck. No. So complete debacle, but a great story about how it just completely snarled traffic. And you're going to see more and more of this, but that's the future. So enjoy. Okay? Enjoy. One thing that you guys keep asking me about is the VPN company that I use, and that's private internet access. They're a great company. They have a great deal. You need to have a VPN because it's all about safety. It's a level of encryption on everything you do with all your devices. They've got the best deal. Check out the link below. Now, 2 final stories in this video. Think about this. Because of rising interest rates, we spend more on servicing our national debt, servicing the debt, than we do on defense for this country. That is lunacy, guys. Plus, because of rising interest rates, the fee to service the debt has gone up 90% since 2011. 90%. 90%. That is absolutely crazy, guys. Absolutely nuts. Final story. A Target worker shared what it's like to deal with all the in-store theft that they have to deal with. And everybody that I've talked to when it comes to retail crime tells me basically the same thing, that they have these organized groups that come in, they spread out the store, throughout the store, they wreak havoc, they make a mess, and before you know it, tags are missing, clothes are missing, and that's what the Target employee says, is that they will walk in and find tags, just bundles of them put together in one spot. But it is getting worse and worse and worse. You and I get to pay more for this. In Irvine, California, the Barnes & Noble is consolidating, moving to a smaller location at the Tustin district. How much longer can this stuff last, guys? That things just can keep shrinking and keep getting smaller and keep getting smaller. It's gonna eventually be catastrophic, or you're going to accept the fact that things are bad. So, you know, listen to Mr. Gloom and Doom Danny and get yourself ready. Please like the video. Please don't forget, if you are on the email list, check your spam filter because an email just went out. Make sure you're getting the emails. And don't forget to sign up for Christmas in May. And you can go to christmasinmay.com, or you can use the link below. And always take a look at our sponsors, guys, okay? Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. And let me know what you think about the hot dog shirt.